Welcome back, Build of the Red, to another Minecraft Bedrock tutorial. Now today is the first video of a two-part series where I'm going to be showing you guys how to make one wide Tilable shulker box unloaders and loaders. Now both the designs are super compact, being only 6 long and 6 tall, and of course 1 wide, and both of them being completely tileable, so you can have as many of them right next to each other as you want. Now today we're going to be focusing on the shulker box unloader, so this is going to be taking all our shulker boxes, whether they are empty or full, taking them down, taking all the items out of it, putting that into the left chest, and once the shulker box is empty, or if the shulker box was empty to begin with, it'll be broken and put down in the right chest. And this system can handle any type of shulker boxes. So if I was to throw a chest right up here, these shulker boxes are all empty, and the system will simply go right through them and sort them out. And then if you have a bunch of shulker boxes that had items in them, so for example some redstone dust, you'll see once those items get through the system will stop, unload all those items, as you can see right here, and when the shulker box is completely empty, or it has unloaded all the redstone dust, that shulker box will break, and it will continue the cycle all over again. Now if you have only one shulker box unloader, this obsidian right here in the end is not necessary, because it doesn't matter if this piston extends or not. But if you have more than one of these tiled right next to each other, then of course this obsidian is very important because it stops the systems from breaking each other. So yeah, this obsidian is only required if you have more than one stacked right next to each other. But if you want to just keep your system a little bit quieter, obsidian or some sort of other immovable object is all you really need. And of course, with it being one wide, it is also really nice if you want to have lots of these. So if you are coming back from a long day out in your survival world, you know, you've done a lot of building, your shulker boxes are full of a bunch of junk, then simply just divide all your shulker boxes within all of these. And you can see we got some empty shulker boxes and some full shulker boxes, and you can see all the systems are working independently from each other and are breaking them and filtering through all the items. Now I have done loads and loads of testing, like you can see all these different designs, because these are all my designs that I've tried to make the system as reliable as possible. Now whenever the shulker boxes are emptied, all your items that the shulker box has been drained from are always on their left, and the shulker boxes are 98% of the time on your right. I have done hundreds and hundreds of shulker boxes in loads of my testings, and 98% of the shulker boxes have all come into these chests. But like I said, I've had this one shulker box that I can't figure out whether it's from lag or if it's actually this design, but down here in the middle you can see I've had one shulker box come through where the items are. So while the system is not 100% reliable at sorting your shulker boxes from your items, it is 100% reliable, even sliced up right like this, at emptying your shulker boxes, so you should never have any items remaining in your boxes. Now there is one final thing to note with this system. Now to keep it as small as possible, so you can see it is 6 long, 6 tall, and of course 1 wide, you will have one shulker box remaining every so often whenever you are unloading them. But as you can see, that is not the case every single time. If your final shulker box to enter the system is an empty shulker box, then the system, just with how the redstone circles around, will actually break the final shulker box. But if your final shulker box in your system is, for example, one with items, so there's 16 redstone dust, then because of how this timer works and it relies on shulker boxes being in this dispenser to keep the system going, it will not actually break the shulker box when it is finished unloading. All the items will be completely unloaded for that shulker box is empty. It just won't be broken until another shulker box comes in the system and of course replaces it. And that is a very quick summary on how the shulker box unloader behind me works. Now again, this entire thing is 1 wide, 6 tall, and 6 wide, so make sure you have an area cleared out for that, and a material list and world download will be in the description as well. Now, if you are a subscriber of my videos, you will have probably noticed by now that my screen is not nearly as laggy because I have upgraded to a new computer, guys, and video editing software, so hopefully these videos will be better in the future. But if you can't tell, I have spent several hours in my redstone testing world making these systems as reliable and small, well, and fast as I possibly could for y'all. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I have some very, very interesting videos and tutorials coming out in the future that you will not want to miss. But with that, let's get into the tutorial. So to build this, we're going to start with our output chest. So we're going to have our one output chest there, and our second one here. Again, the left one is for normal items, and our right one is for our shulker boxes. Now, again, this does not sort these two items 100% of the time, but again, it is very, very close to 100% of the time, so it is worth doing. Next, you're going to build up 3 blocks high, break the 2 lower ones, put a dispenser facing straight down, and then we're going to have 3 hoppers facing straight up, and then here's where your input chest is going to be. Then we'll come around and we'll have a solid block right there. We'll have a normal piston facing out, and then we will have a glass block. We'll have a comparator. This comparator needs to be facing out, so it's reading stuff through the piston. That's going to be going straight into a block with a sticky piston facing down, a sticky piston to the side, with an upward facing observer. Next, on top of our normal piston, we are going to have a comparator, and that comparator is going to be going straight into a block with a repeater on 3 ticks. Now this is the start of our clock, so anytime there is items in this top dispenser, this clock will activate and will only turn off when there are no items remaining in that dispenser. So that repeater is going to be going straight into a sticky piston facing down. That sticky piston is going to have an observer with a solid block right there. Then we are going to have a torch on top of the piston, 2 more solid blocks right here. Then we're going to have another repeater on 3 ticks. Then we will have a sticky piston facing straight down. We will have a torch on the side of that sticky piston. Then right underneath that torch, we will have a normal piston with 1 more torch. Now this is all you're going to have to do if you want to build a single slice of this unloader, but if you want to have multiple slices stacked directly next to each other, then you are going to need to place 1 obsidian here, or if you want with only 1 slice, you can still put an obsidian right there. This obsidian is simply to make sure that this piston doesn't extend, and with multiple pistons right next to each other, this will simply break the systems right next to them, so this obsidian is required. It does not need to be obsidian, it just needs to be some sort of immovable object to make sure that the pistons will never extend. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, go ahead and give the video a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. But this has been Bedrock, and I'll see you all in the next one.